Hello, I'm Rose X, and I'm the curator of the Clark Virtual Museum. I'd like for you to join me today as I do a little walkthrough of the museum and our latest exhibit, Great Black Architects. Now, I've always wondered about our ancestors. I heard that they built much of America, but think about it. Is what they built still around us? What about the buildings, the schools, the universities, the colleges? Well, this exhibit that we have will share with you how many of the things that are right around us were things that were built by our great renowned Black architects. Well, what I'd like to do is share with you the Clark Virtual Museum website. And in the Clark Virtual Museum website, your first thing that you will find is a welcome. And if you scroll down the right side, you'll see me welcoming you to the Clark Virtual Museum. After that, I have a post here, which by the way is part of Tuskegee University, one of their first homes. And if you click on that home, it will take you right to the exhibit on Great Black Architects. You could also click on the main lobby or the Clark Bookstore, and it will take you to those locations. But for now, let's go ahead and click on the Tuskegee home and take us to Great Black Architects. Wonderful. We are now in the exhibit for Great Black Architects. And you'll see some of the architects that I have listed. Paul Revere Williams, Ottawa W. Gurley, Julian Abel, McKissick and McKissick Company, Bertner Woodson Tandy, Beverly Lorraine Green, and Dr. Robert Robinson Taylor. Now, these are just a few of the renowned Black architects and builders that we have in the United States. But there are many, many more who have not had the recognition that these have had. The first great Black architect I'd like to introduce you to is Paul Revere Williams. And I have a video from Sunday morning that shares his great legacy as the builder to the stars. He built so many phenomenal Hollywood homes and iconic structures that have the curving staircases and the open patios. Here's just a few of the structures that Paul Revere Williams built. But again, he built many, many structures. So you definitely want to educate yourself about this great architect. So next, on our list, we talk about Ottawa W. Gurley. And I put an excellent video here for you to understand about his impact in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And there he purchased 40 acres of land and started building a place in the Greenwood area of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And you'll hear his story, and you can take a look at some of the buildings that he built on a road called Greenwood Road, which he named, by the way. Many professional Black people who began to move there, and they had homes and businesses there. And so it was one of the most thriving Black areas in the United States. And of course, it was burned down in 1921. We all know what happened. And Booker T. Washington later coined the phrase and called the area Black Wall Street. But you can learn about Ottawa W. Gurley. Now, the next individual we have is Julian Abel. And of course, this young man here is not Julian Abel. But I always like to use our own people to tell our own stories, as opposed to listening to other people tell our stories for us. And so this young man tells an excellent history of Julian Abel. Now, if you go on down, you'll see a photo of Julian Abel. Julian Abel built so many buildings and structures at Duke University. He worked up under the owner of his company, but the owner suddenly died, and they needed someone to sign some papers. And so that's when they went and got Julian Abel and then allowed him to take credit for the designs and the buildings that he had made. So had the owner not died, he may have stayed in obscurity and we would not know who he was. McKissick and McKissick Company. These are two brothers, Moses McKissick and Calvin McKissick, who in the early 1900s started their own architecture company. And they had a great history before them of their grandfather and father being architects as well. But McKissick and McKissick started their company in the early 1900s. But at some point, the state said all architects needed to be licensed and registered. And McKissick had not really went formally for an education. But so they went to a correspondence and got their license and registration to be architects and continued their business. And over the years, McKissick and McKissick has had over 6,000 structures or more. They built the 99th Squadron for the Tuskegee Airmen, the air base. And this is a picture of Moses McKissick and his brother Calvin McKissick, and just a few of the iconic structures. The next person that we have in our exhibit is Vertner Woodson Tandy. Now, Vertner Woodson Tandy actually attended Tuskegee. He later went on to Cornell University, and he actually was one of the Black men who started the Black Greek letter fraternity Alpha Pi Alpha. He's most known for his work as an architect in New York City. He built Harlem St. Philip's Church. He built Mount Zion Church, which is the oldest African American church in New York City. He built apartment buildings, and he also built the iconic mansion for Madam C.J. Walker, the hair care millionaire. Miss Beverly Lorraine Green, who was the first licensed Black female architect in the United States. And Beverly Lorraine Green, she has worked on some iconic structures, designing Carson Pirie Scott Building, designing the UNESCO building for the United Nations. She's also designed libraries and universities, part of New York University structure. So Beverly Lorraine Green has had a phenomenal work as an architect and designer. In addition, the last person that we focus on in this exhibit series is Dr. Robert Robinson Taylor. And Dr. Robert Robinson Taylor actually was vice president of Tuskegee Institute as well, under Booker T. Washington. But he was also an architecture, phenomenal architect and designer, and he actually built many of the buildings and architectural buildings at Tuskegee, from Ellen Curtis Hall to Sage Hall, White Hall, Tompkins Hall. He also designed Booker T. Washington's Agricultural Institute in Liberia. And so he has some phenomenal work under his belt. Robert Robinson Taylor's granddaughter is Valerie Jarrett, the former White House aide to President Barack Obama. When he was inducted into the U.S. Postal Service as the 38th candidate for the Forever Stamp, she spoke about his legacy. And they do have a great legacy and a history in their family of architects as well. This concludes part of the series that I wanted to show you on Great Black Architects. But I encourage you to go and take a look at what we have here. Watch the videos, read the commentary, and learn more about these great Black architects that have given so much. Men and women who have focused on design and architecture, the great builders of our society. And look around you, because you just might see one of the buildings and one of the structures that they've made. I'd just like to ask you if you would like to click on anywhere on the Clark Virtual Museum. You can go back to the home page, and from any page, on the right-hand side, you can go back to the home page, and at the bottom of the home page on the right, is a place where you can subscribe to the Clark Virtual Museum. We ask that you become a subscriber so you'll be on the top of the list for all of the news and information that we'll share. And you'll find out about the new exhibits as soon as they come live. Once you come to the home page of the Clark Virtual Museum, make sure you click on the lobby page, because if you click on the lobby, it will take you to the array of exhibits. Once you click down any of those exhibits, all you have to do is click on the topic and it will take you there. Make sure you also visit our Clark Bookstore. By clicking on the Clark Bookstore, it will take you directly to the Clark Bookstore and some of the videos that we'll share and some of the books and information that we have to offer. So we ask that you take advantage of everything that the Clark Virtual Museum has to offer. And thank you. Welcome to the Clark Virtual Museum anytime. Okay, well, that concludes my presentation for our new exhibit, Great Black Architects. And also, thank you for joining me with this new exhibit and to walk through the Clark Virtual Museum. I look forward to sharing with you new and exciting exhibits as they come out. So thank you again. I look forward to seeing you soon in the Clark Virtual Museum.